And to think he thought that this was his friend and his girlfriend. Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all are having a wonderful week so far. I hope everybody is feeling good and feeling great. So in today's video, this is a case about what some media outlets are calling a teenage love triangle. However, there is a flip side where it is being said that this was not a love triangle at all. Before we get into it though, I do want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. I just do things more casually over there. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon's for 18 and up. And over there, we talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. There's a $2 tier for more true crime content that you can find over there. Make sure you read the full about section of what each tier offers before you join. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I'm also on Like to Know It. And Like to Know It is a platform where you can find the links to a lot of things that you guys ask about that I use, that I love, like makeup, skincare, clothing item, all kind of Christmas gift ideas if you're starting to Christmas shop online, workout gear, cooking utensils, just about anything and everything that I want to link over there, I do. And all of those platforms are linked down in the description box if you would like to come and check me out. So, okay, today's story is about a young man named Trey and his friends. And just a brief little summary here. This is a story about a bunch of people that lived in South Carolina. A lot of friends, high schoolers, going to school, riding dirt bikes, going out, hanging out late, going to parties. Really, for the most part, minus, a few middle fingers and pictures and maybe some drinks. They look like they were having a really great teenage, high school, young adult, some of them are 18, 19 years old, experience, really just living the life, connected with each other, until something unexpected happened. Now, before we get into it, I did need to let you guys know that I'm not a professional. Everything in this video is alleged. I pull all of my information from very public sources and news sources that is already out there. Please go do your own research, form your own opinions. Just do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Now, did you know in South Carolina, they have a law that is called hand of one is hand of all, which basically means if you and someone else commit a crime together, even if you did not personally do everything, you can still be held responsible for everything that happened. In Florida here, we basically have the same thing, but it's not referred to as the hand of one is the hand of all, but it basically falls under the same concept of principal liability. Under Florida law statute, even if you are not the one who actually carried out the crime, you can be charged with the full crime, the same offense, if you helped or even encouraged the situation. With all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Trey Wright. Trey Wright was born on October 9th of 2008 in Hartsville, South Carolina, to his parents, Richard and Ashley. They later moved to Johnsonville in the city of Florence County, and it has a population of just about 1,300 people. Really small, rural town set along the Lynches River. Johnsonville is actually known for its extensive Revolutionary War history, especially its connection to General Francis Marion on the site of Weatherspoon Ferry, where he received his commission for the Revolutionary War. The town has been hosting an annual Heritage Festival to celebrate the area's history since back in 2011. Before that, they used to host a Founders Day festival on Broadway Street. Now, 16-year-old Trey was a sophomore at Johnsonville High School, where he was a proud varsity athlete. He played football, you guys. He played baseball. He worked at a place called Vox Deer Processing when he wasn't at school. And he was involved in so much. All the videos and pictures that I found online is your typical country boy lifestyle, you guys. I mean, it could not get any more country boy life than that. Now, Trey's friends and family say that Trey was a true outdoorsman. He loved riding dirt bikes. He spent a lot of time out in nature, on the boat, living his life to the complete fullest. He was known for his infectious smile and his ability to make everyone around him laugh. There's so many videos that I found of him dancing with all kinds of different friends, girls, guys, football players, dancing at the school, dancing out by the truck at nighttime. I mean, Trey was the kind of person who definitely left a lasting impression on everybody around him. Now, Trey's best friend, Ethan Kirby, said that Trey was absolutely fearless. He said that Trey was a great kid, but he was a little tough too. He said that he once saw Trey get a fish hook stuck in his hand and he just completely pulled it out and did not even flinch. Trey's mother said that Trey was everybody's friend and he was a very loving kid. She said that he loved fishing, he loved making people laugh, and Trey seemed to be living his best high school life. He had a lot of friends, he went to a lot of parties, and he had recently gotten to a new relationship with a girl named Gianna. Now, in this year of 2025, Trey's mother seemingly moved to a nearby county, and because of this, Trey wanted to stay in the high school that he was in where all of his friends went and where he had been playing football at. And so Trey ended up moving in with a friend and their parents. The friend's name is Jasmine. She's actually done quite a few interviews with the media as of now. And Jasmine said that she looked at Trey like her little brother. She loved him like a little brother. Matter of fact, her parents, Jasmine was living with her father and stepmother. They loved Trey like a son, and they were all in contact with Trey's biological mother. And they were all like family. It was working out great. Now, this being a country's backwoods type of area, a lot of the high schoolers, they drove these big trucks. They'd get all their trucks together and go riding. In their trucks, they all had rims. The trucks are all souped up. Country boy lifestyle. They spent a lot of time showing these trucks off, dancing, making TikToks, drinking, and being rambunctious teenagers, having fun, and maybe even getting into a little bit of trouble too. Now, one of the people that would come into the group at different times was a 19-year-old young man named Devin. Now, Devin was, a little bit older than the other teenagers, but to me, he definitely acted their age. And last year, in 2024, he actually was arrested for being an accessory after the fact of a felony charge. However, he did end up being released from jail in November, and then the charges were later dismissed against him in February of this year. So he himself had been in a bit of trouble too, and he had a reputation. Now, Devin had allegedly dated Gianna before, and it is rumored that Devin is actually the one that introduced Trey to Gianna. But Devin started posting on his social media last year saying that he was going to change his life because he had something far more important to look for in the future now. A different girl that Devin had been dating was pregnant, and they soon together welcomed a baby girl into the world. So as a very quick recap, Trey, sophomore year, dating cheerleader Gianna for just a few weeks at this point. Devin, who had been in some trouble before, vowed to completely turn his life around after becoming a father, and all should have been well. As a matter of fact, Trey's last post on TikTok, which was on June 17th of this year, 2025, had a caption that said, "I'm just a girl. No, you're the reason that I wake up and smile every day." Trey's mother said a couple days before he made this post on TikTok, Trey had actually told his mother that this girl, Gianna, felt like a dream come true to him. However, on the night of June 24th of 2025, that dream would sadly turn into a nightmare. According to some of the teens who were in this friend group, that night, Devin and Trey began to argue over the phone, allegedly about Gianna. Now again, Devin's supposed to be with his baby's mama at this point, with his daughter. Gianna's 17 and Trey is 16. They're both in high school. One's a football player, one's a cheerleader. Seems like things should have been okay. However, they weren't. It had been said that Devin, at this point, was like an hour or so away at the beach when Trey and Devin began to tell each other over the phone that they were going to basically beat each other up. So you got these two boys, 19, 16, One's an hour away. They're on the phone arguing, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Trey is like, oh, you're going to do that? Well, come over and do it then. Run me my fade, whatever. Come and do it if you're going to do it, basically. Some of the friends say that they believe that Devin was actually scared of Trey, but he didn't want to be punked out in front of all of his friends. And so they all hopped in the car. According to two of the articles that I found, 2 different carloads came driving. So they drove an hour from the beach all the way over to where Trey was. Some people say that Gianna, Trey's girlfriend, was driving the vehicle that Devin was in. So allegedly, according to a few sources out there, Gianna's driving one vehicle and Devin and another friend are in the back seat of that vehicle. And then there's another car that came as well. I do want to throw in here that Gianna's attorney said that she was never driving a vehicle that Devin was in, and she was never in the vehicle that Devin was in. So it's not actually clear if she was in the second vehicle or what, but there's conflicting stories, so I gave them both to you. Now, allegedly, when the 2 vehicles showed up at the house in the middle of the night, basically, Trey went up to the car ready for a teenage brawl, and this is when Devin showed what he had in his hand.
Met him there with Trey. You guys met him together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he seem like a nice kid?
No.
No.
He was actually on coke the first time though. I believe it was like peer pressure into a scare, and that's really, like, I believe he didn't want to act like in front of everybody because they was arguing on the phone, and Trey was telling him to come fight, and I don't believe Devin wanted to be. So then whenever he got there, and then he realized that Trey was really gonna fight him, and then they done made the hour drive. I believe he was talking crazy from the beach because he was at the beach and they were an hour away. But whenever somebody stood up and said, okay, I'll drive you to where Trey's at to fight. And then whenever they got there and Devin realized he actually has to fight Trey, it was more of a scare thing and he pulled the trigger. So then Braylon and Devin is still in the back seat. Trey opens the door and Devin pulls out his gun and Braylon puts it back down. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And then Trey says, well, just get out and fight me. And then Devin, like, thought about it again and pulled it and pow. Just like that. Hit him once. He backed up as soon as he shot and it hit Trey in the arm. And he stepped back and then shot twice, 2 in the chest, 1, 2. Trey fell, and then Devin just started opening it into the crowd.
Now, as wild as that sounds, allegedly, Devin continued to discharge this weapon into the crowd, but it doesn't seem like anyone else was hurt. Well, not anywhere that I could find. Now, Jasmine, again, whose home it was that Trey was living in and where all this happened out in front of, she was made aware what happened, and so she came rushing outside.
When I came out, he was laying in the road and being attended to.
And what was your reaction? It must have been impossible to believe.
It really was impossible, but like when they woke me up and told me, in my head there was no thing about an ambulance or nothing because Trey's always been like a little brother to me. So I straight up looked at his friends and I was like, y'all about to help me pick him up and put him in my car so we could take him to the hospital. But when I got out here, my dad was over top of him and there was already a police officer on site. And then shortly after, a bunch more police officers showed up along with an ambulance. It's really been hard and traumatic because there was a good bit of kids here that night that were really close friends with Trey who witnessed it beginning to end. And Trey was kind of just like the light of everybody's life. I don't know. In my own words, I just feel like it's been dull since he's been gone. It hasn't been the same, and I don't think it'll ever be the same.
Jasmine's stepmom was woken up as well and told what happened, so she rushed outside to try to help Trey. She said that they were all basically praying for him. They were trying to help him as he was gasping for air. And she said that eventually Trey said that he was going to go to sleep.
How long do you think they knew each other, Alicia?
Not long. A month at most.
Gianna, as far as we know, was going out with this older man, Devin, who is from Myrtle Beach. And she's also seeing Trey kind of on the down low a little bit.
That's what it seemed, or well, we think it seemed calm when we went to bed, and They woke us up saying Trey's been shot, and when we come out here, Trey was in the road, shot 2 times in his chest, and he had a shot in his arm too.
Before you know it, the ambulances, the police, everybody show up. Jasmine is on the phone with Trey's mother, who I cannot imagine. It literally gives me the chills right now thinking about the mother getting this phone call. And she gets a phone call and Jasmine says, listen, don't come to my house because by the time you get here, he's going to already be in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. Just go to the hospital and meet us all there.
And I called his grandma off of his phone to get his mom up because she didn't have no service where she was at. And I told them to meet the ambulance at the hospital, that there would be no point in coming in here because they were already loading him up.
At this point, people still thought that he was going to be okay, especially his best friend, Ethan. As a matter of fact, Ethan went and quickly packed like a bag of clothes for himself and for Trey. So he's like in his room, grabbing clothes, underwear, shirts, and everything for himself and for Trey, and then gets in the vehicle and he starts rushing to the hospital.
It was just gonna be a surgery, and we was about to like be in there for a while. So I had packed clothes, like deodorant and stuff for Trey and me. And then I was on the way there with all the clothes and stuff in my back seat, and then I got a phone call.
While everybody was at the hospital, Gianna shows up at the hospital. Most people still didn't know exactly what happened. They just knew that somebody showed up, Devin showed up, They didn't know anything about the Gianna's part. She'd only been dating Trey for like a few weeks to a month at this point. However, when they saw Gianna there, she was crying and they began to comfort her. I mean, even Trey's grandmother was comforting her.
She came to the hospital and we thought that we didn't know she had anything to do with it. We were comforting her.
Unfortunately, Trey's injuries were fatal and he was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Less than 24 hours later, investigators took 19-year-old Devin into custody and they charged him with possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. In Devin's first court appearance, he seemingly tried to argue with the judge.
I did not do none of this. There was 4 more people.
All right, I'm not here to try.
I understand that.
I'm not here to try your case, but you can speak to law enforcement and you can also talk to your attorney.
Now, I do want to say that it is rumored by quite a few of the people involved that there was a video. So the police have a video of everything that happened. Since everything happened, that's when all of the chatter about Trey and Devin arguing over the girlfriend Gianna come out, which is so sad. First of all, they're all so young. Everybody's life has been changed over a girl that Trey was dating for just a couple weeks. And you guys, I was looking all in Trey's like social medias, looking at his mom's post of him and his little brother, and Trey, oh my gosh, he just reminds me of a typical teenage boy in a lot of ways, but also like a lover boy. Like so many of his TikToks was like talking about love and about being a boyfriend and like searching for his love. And like he gets with this girl who's he obviously thinks is like all that at this point, that he's even telling his mom that she was a dream come true. And then here comes this little stinker, this 19-year-old punk who had already been in trouble for something similar just less than a year previous. And this happens, and now he's gone. Now, remember how I said people were comforting Gianna at the hospital? Well, you can only imagine the shock of the community when Gianna was also arrested in connection with Trey's passing. On June 30th, the Florence County Sheriff's Office announced that they had arrested 17-year-old Gianna and charged her with accessory before the fact of a felony. They allege that Gianna, again, drove Devin to the incident, knowing that Devin was armed and that there would be a confrontation, likely leading to Trey's passing based on statements made in her presence. That's what they're saying. Again, her attorney's saying she did not drive and she wasn't in the vehicle with him. I don't know if they're going to later say She drove her vehicle and let him follow to show him where he was. But the friend Ethan said that he believed that Gianna probably just wanted these two guys to fight over her. She thought that Devin was going to come over, and Trey thought, we're just going to throw down. However, Devin was internally scared of Trey and thought Trey could take him and didn't want to be punked in front of his friends, and he did what he did. Gianna's bail was initially declined, but she has since been let out on bond under like a really strict home confinement situation. Gianna lived in a suburb of Myrtle Beach and was a cheerleader again, and her friends have since said that they never expected that she would do this type of thing. Neighbors say that Gianna's own father is a detective, so they are shocked that this even happened. But Devin and Gianna aren't the only ones who have been arrested for this incident. As a matter of fact, 9 people in total have been arrested. Now, only some of their names have been released due to others being minors, but it has been reported that most of them are all from the same area that Gianna is. The Myrtle Beach area investigators haven't released specific information about how they were allegedly involved in the incident. According to officials, several of them have been charged with, now including Gianna and Corinne, and they say that the decision was made based on the fact that the hand of one being the hand of all is part of South Carolina law. Basically meaning if all these teenagers hops in 2 cars and they know that they're going over to commit a crime, whether it be the felony, fighting, whatever, and something like this happened, well, you helped facilitate it in whatever way. You instigated it, you encouraged it, you was a part of it, and so the hand of one equals the hand of all. Or in layman's terms, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. Trey's grandmother has recently spoken out about how awful the situation is and how hard it's been, since her losing her grandson.
I don't wish this on anybody because it kills you. It really does. It rips your heart out your chest.
Trey's mother also has spoken out. She has not done any video interviews as of now that I've seen, but I have seen her TikToks. I've read articles with interviews that she has done talking about him, saying she does not believe that this was a love triangle. She said her son would never be involved in like a love triangle. The way that I'm understanding it, and I'm putting it in my own words, and so if she ever sees this, I hope that I'm getting this right. But the way that I understand, she seemingly sees this as like, her son is a lover boy. He seemingly was that type. Like he wanted to be in love and he was with this girl and it was ego, teenagers, that type of thing. And that type of way was never expected to be involved. And Trey wasn't expecting it. They were running their mouths. They showed up there. He went outside. And I'm telling you right now, this guy, Devin, unless everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But if the information that's come out so far, he is cooked. It's over for him. Because the situation that happened last year that he got out of was where he allegedly drove somebody else and they discharged one of those types of weapons and somebody got injured there. And now this time, allegedly someone else was driving and he's cooked. It's over for him. If they got the video and he really did it, I don't know about the other people that have been arrested, but for him, he's taken a life. They're probably drinking, not thinking, trying to be tough. He's taken a life. Everybody that loved Trey will forever, their lives are changed now. He has a young daughter who will not have any relationship with her father, a young mother who will not have any help, his family that loves him, all of that because of this. So senseless. Now, a beautiful memorial was held at the Johnsonsville High School gym for Trey.
As friends and loved ones packed the gymnasium, wearing t-shirts that said LLT for Long Live Trey. On the back, a photo of the teen.
And right now, everybody else is just waiting for their day in court. So what do you think? My personal opinion, this is just so heartbreaking. I see a lot of my son and even my family, but my youngest son right now, who is a 9th grader, in Trey. Like the dirt bikes, the 4-wheelers, the fishing, the outdoorsiness, hanging out with your friends all the time. And I'm sure a lot of y'all see yourselves or your kids in that type of lifestyle too. And it's just heartbreaking. You got one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. And It's sad, and you can't take it back. You make a decision like that in a split second. And that guy, Devin, I'm sure is sitting in a jail cell wishing, why did I go? Why did I go? And he drove an hour there. He has no self-defense. If he's the one that really did it, and they say they got him on video, there's no self-defense when you drove there, an hour there. Like, he's cooked, and he can't take it back. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.